I guess that one. Just a couple of markets were really good, yeah.
Wow, that's something. I I looked at that and I thought, am I looking at this wrong? Where's that decimal at, you know? And,
1,100 points.
yeah,
Yes, you've been shut the border again on the Canada, Mexico.
was that right?
Yeah, which is this guy that we custom feed for, he's calling, he didn't believe how. That we're up like, feeders were up $6.
Yeah.
There's fats selling for $2.30.
I know that's something.
18 pounds steer in the ancient rock, $2.30, so that's like. Over
4,000, yeah, $4,000. Yeah.
Where it's gonna end, I don't know, but all trains do come off the rails.
Yeah,
At some point, they get retired and they come off.
I didn't look at the grain market last night though. What did the grain do? Beans and corn.
I haven't really looked,
I have
nothing crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. The factors are so eating cattle. This guy's got like 3 limits he's taken to the factor. They call him up, said, "Hey, we're gonna give you $5 on it." Appreciate you for that. I said, $30. I mean, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, chunk it a little bit, barely see you bad.
You know, with the heat and the wind like this, I think that would move them.
you. Bad cattle. It's a challenge in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah. Not out of space. That's because it's said by Randy,
I guess it should have been, it was cleared out.
the magnetic force.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. We'll go ahead and call the Codington County Commission Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, May 13th. It is 9 a.m. We'll begin the meeting this morning with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll have Commissioner Gable lead us this morning.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Gable. Just a reminder, please silence your cell phones so they do not disrupt our meeting, and do not forget to turn them back on after the meeting. All right. Call for public comment. Public comment may be submitted in person or via telephone at 605-882-6248, 605-882-6297, or during the public comment portion of our meeting later on this meeting. Commissioners, any conflict of interest items?
No.
Okay, we are going to make a slight change to the agenda this morning. We're going to move item number 12, which is discussion possible action to approve the quote for the audio visual updates to the courtroom. We're going to move that in between 5 and 6 this morning. I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Motion by Gable, second by Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is action to approve the May 6, 2025 minutes of the
To approve.
motion by McElhaney, second by Schwer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right, let's go ahead and move down to item number 12. Discussion possible action to approve the quote for audio visual updates in the small courtroom. Judge Means and Judge Elsher, good morning. Thank you both for being here this morning. You can turn your microphones on there for us.
You for moving us up in the agenda. I appreciate that.
Bet.
And I did make copies of what I had previously provided to Lee, if everybody just, you've got them. All right, sounds good. So. You got a big stack of papers. Well, we appreciate you sitting down and meeting with us. Judge Means and I have met with Commissioner Gable about the upgrades that need to occur in the small courtroom upstairs. Maybe some of you aren't familiar with it, but it is a fully functioning courtroom, but its sound system is very old and it has a ITV system that's no longer supported by the company that runs it. So you can't, once it goes out, it's out. It's going to be done. There won't be any, the company doesn't exist anymore. So there'll be a new ITV system, which is the way we hook up with the jail, we hook up, we can hook up anywhere, any place in the state, right? I think that's got a DDN. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So we use it for that. And then this, obviously the sound system is a big part of that. But the other thing that needs to be upgraded or have in that system, which doesn't occur right now, is an FTR system, which does stand for the record. It's an electronic recording system that courts are using all over South Dakota. Both of the other two courtrooms have it. This one does not, but they use it, a lot of times. I would say in Sioux Falls, they're using it quite a bit. What's happening is our court reporters are aging and they're retiring and leaving and they're not being able to be replaced. I think the number of openings of court reporters in the state of South Dakota is high. So what happens then is they go to a for the record. It's an electronic recording system that they can hire someone at a more of an entry level position. They don't have to have the same skills. They don't have the, what do we call it? Transcribing skills that is very skilled, and as we were telling Commissioner Gable, there's not a school for court reporting in South Dakota anymore. So that's why I think we're seeing a shortage, and I'm guessing it's nationwide. So we obtained a bid from the company is AVI. It's the same company that did the upgrade in the large courtroom, which by the way is wonderful. It's the sound systems as we get older are so important to be able to hear, and it's important for our court reporters to hear. But right now that courtroom is just unable to be utilized by the magistrate judge because there is no recording device and he does not have a court reporter. He exclusively uses this FTR systems. So certain days of the week, he just can't have access to a courtroom because that courtroom does not have that system. So we talked with the state. They were very supportive of us upgrading, which was good. Sometimes the state's not always in support of us upgrading. And they came along and they have they will reimburse for 10,000, which I think was contained in the letter. So we are just, I know that we originally asked Steve regarding the facilities budget, and obviously this wasn't budgeted for. So that's why we've gone into the judicial systems budget. And we do think there are funds there to pay for this upgrade. And we are just asking for your approval. Did I cover everything?
I think you did. Our concerns are, right now, Judge Elsher and I each have our own court reporters. And so it is not impossible for us to rotate into that smaller courtroom. But eventually, that's not always going to be the case. And we're going to need to have 3 courtrooms that are available to accommodate a judge. And this project, like every project, will become more expensive the longer we wait. And so that's why we're asking for it now. It isn't as much that we have to have it right now because things won't work, but we have to have it eventually. And we might as well spend less money now than more money in the future. And that was really why we brought it at this time.
Second.
Motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Any further discussion, commissioners?
You did say that you feel you have the funds in your budget to handle the costs on our side?
Yes. And as we laid that out in the letter, and then there would be, the bid is just over 30,000. Unfortunately, it went up from when the first bid was rendered by $500, which I guess we'll just blame on inflation or tariffs. I don't know, but yes. And then we'll get reimbursed 10,000 of that once it's completed. You'll get reimbursed. So.
What time frame?
I talked to Corey just yesterday and he said, as soon as you get the approval, we will set with AI. I think we're on the list, so I'm hoping as soon as possible, but there may be other projects within the state that AVI is working on too, but.
Is there going to be any issue with the courtroom while this install is taking place, or is this like a pretty fast turnaround? It's not gonna stall?
I was saying, when the sound
Okay.
system was updated in my courtroom, that was not a lengthy project.
Okay.
I think it was handled
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
quickly.
I would
fast.
say the same thing. We did the same upgrades in Grant County and Dual County, and I would say that it was a day or two,
Okay,
which was good. Yeah.
As long as you're not asking for a couple months of the closure, I think we're okay.
Oh,
So-
no, absolutely not. No, no closure. No.
okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for moving us up.
Yeah.
We do
We
appreciate that.
do really appreciate that. And do I submit this to you for signature?
Yes, we'll sign it. and
Okay,
It's
that's,
taken care of.
it's on the second page. That's why. If you're wondering, like me, where it went to, I couldn't find it right away.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you again.
And just in case anybody's wondering why they were moved up, they do have court to get to this morning, so that's why. Thank you. All right, let's move down to item number 6. This is action to award the bid for the 2025 County Road 20 asphalt paving project, and we'll get our Superintendent Randy up here. Morning.
Good morning.
All right, Randy.
Kind of messed up in my numbering now, but
That's okay. As long as you get back to number 5, we're good.
Oh.
As Commissioner Van Duzen said, this is asking for authorization to have the South Dakota DOT send out for bids on our project for 14th Avenue. That's a shared project between the South Dakota DOT and the city of Watertown and us. It breaks down that the DOT will pay for 81.95% of it. The remainder, 18.05% of it will break down and split up between ourselves and the city. At which point, we share 62% of that remainder.
no, this is
six.
number 6. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Well, I did. I apologize.
this
I
is
jumped.
the 2025 County Road 20 asphalt paving project.
Well, I apologize.
Item number 6.
I was backwards. I apologize. I'm out of line today.
So I was correct.
You are. Yes, I apologize. Nope. Troy was right and I'm wrong.
Get way more in depth than that.
Exactly. No.
All right, let's start over.
I
There you go. Go ahead.
apologize. This is for the County Road 20-4 asphalt resurfacing. This is the second phase of the project we started last year with the gravel. It's a 2-mile stretch between County Roads 11 and State Highway 81. Last week, we opened up bids for this project. The first one we opened up was from Central Specialties for $849,209.10. And the second project bid we opened up was from Dunick Incorporated for $728,691.10. After reviewing the numbers and everything looking good, I would recommend that we accept the bid from Dunick for the $728,691.10.
Vote approved.
Motion by
Second.
Johnson, second by McElhaney. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I apologize for the confusion.
It's all right. Let's move on to number 7. Action to authorize the South Dakota Department of Transportation to bid the 14th Avenue Northwest Bridge project.
All right, back to this. This is again 14th Street here in town, a shared project between the SDOT, ourselves and the city. The breakdown would be the DOT would pay for 81.95% of this. The remainder, 18.05%, we would split between the city and ourselves. The county responsible for 62% of this and the city 38%. And this is just to authorize the SDOT to send out for bids at this point.
Vote approved.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have anything else on the agenda?
I do
think
not.
so. Okay. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move on to item number 8, discussion with Carrie Johnston of the Human Service Agency. Executive Director, discussion. Morning, Carrie.
Morning, Kerry.
Just says discussion. What are we talking about?
Just a little late, jumped up agenda, it freaked me out a little bit that I made really off base, but there you go, so. So yeah, I'm here today to talk about all the services that we provide at the Human Service Agency. We are very thankful for the annual donation made by Codington County. What we do with that donation is dedicate most of it toward our crisis services and our emergency services. We did open our appropriate regional facility on July 1st, 2023. And since that time, we've had about 200, or just in the month of, I'm sorry, in the year of 2024, we had 257 admissions to the appropriate regional facility. And that does seem to grow. So we've been doing it, like I said, since 2023. And in the past 6 months, we've had a couple nights where all 4 of our beds were occupied for crisis stabilization. We're able to keep people up to 5 days there. And that's been a help too, to minimize the number of commitments that we have to do out of our county. Hopefully saving money on the sheriff's budget, both in time and travel. And the state recently applied and received a grant so that people that we do send down to HSC from the appropriate regional facility are part of what we use Red Rock transportation, so that the sheriff won't have to do that. They still will have to do provide transportation to our commitments to Avera, but down to Yankton for the next couple of years anyway. Anyone coming out of our appropriate regional facility, that will not be their responsibility. So I'm here today to ask for a 3% increase to your annual giving to HSA, which would bring that total to about $102,735. And we also, with that donation, offset some of our costs of providing crisis intervention training to our law enforcement officials, as well as the county correctional officers. We try to do that annually. And then we also provide any crisis intervention stress management debriefings after tragedies and fatalities to law enforcement. So with that, I stand by for any questions.
Yeah.
So the CIT training, is that typical, or is that always been coming out of this donation, or is that?
We just use, so, I mean, I don't necessarily dedicate that exact donation to that cost, but that is just for my time dedicated to providing that training, if that makes sense. We try to do that annually, and then all the other individuals that participate in our community often do that as a goodwill donation too of their time.
When you run that number by me, you went pretty fast.
I'm sorry.
Got 102.
102, $735.
That's with the 3%.
That's with the 3%. Right now, we're at $99,743.
Very good, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. This is just discussion, so there's no need for a motion yet. It's just. Right, right.
Gotcha.
You need one supporter.
I know, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Appreciate that, Tyler. I thought maybe you just wanted to get rid of me. I didn't want to hear any more about HSA. Get off the stage.
How's the new facility working?
We love it. I think it has been phenomenal. Like I said, we have been able to keep people out of the hospital. We've been able to help any individuals that maybe felt voluntarily that they weren't safe come up. They're familiar with it now. They'll walk in and say, I'm not doing well. They're able to stay for up to 24 hours. And what I personally love the most about it is right across campus. So if I am on call and I need to respond to crisis, I can just walk over there versus having to drive out to Serenity Hills. It's just been, and it's such a nicer, softer stay for individuals when they are in crisis too.
Good,
Right.
nice looking facility.
It is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very lucky to have it.
Any more comments or questions? Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll take that under
Thank you.
advisement.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Carrie.
Appreciate it.
Right, let's move on to item number 9. This is monthly report for 4-H. Good morning, Jody.
Well, our archery, BB gun, air pistol, or rifle are done for the year. We'll be starting shotgun soon for those youth outdoors. But the state shoot was held April 25th, 26th, 27th in Fort Pierre. And we had 29 youth competing in 84 events. Kids have learned that they don't have to just go out there for one event. They're competing in a lot of events when they go out there. Our shooting sports awards and raffle drawing was held last week with great attendance. And then just thank you all to our 4-H shooting sports coaches and parents that put in a lot of time to help these youth. Last week I was teaching junior achievement to third graders at Millette School. That's why I wasn't here last week. We had our first family consumer science and horticulture skillathon with 2 more to be held in May and June. This week we started the bike safety with the Watertown Optimist Club and the police department and the sheriff's office. So I'm working with Gutzmer. Yesterday we were in Henry, South Dakota, and we had some fun with the kids there. We're fixing some bikes, lowering and raising some seats and filling some tires. So then they did a little safety course and I provided them with some helmets that I had received. We'll be in Florence today, then the intermediate school, Jefferson, Millette, and then Lincoln School. Wednesday, we have youth livestock literacy and horse livestock literacy trailer safety at the extension office and a dog meeting that will be starting our dog practices for those youth that have dogs. So they'll learn obedience, showmanship, things like that with their dogs. At the end of the month, we're gonna have companion animal workshop and special foods workshop. So, and this year I'm amazed that for 4-H camp, which is held the first week of June, we have 37 youth going to
Wow.
4-H camp.
Wow.
So thanks to our 4-H leaders that help fund some of that too, so the parents don't have to pay the full price. So, yeah,
It's great.
Thank you.
Busy time of the year.
yeah, busy time.
Busy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, unless there's an objection, I'd like to move down to item number 10 so that we can get Liz and them up here. So they don't have to wait through all the rest of the report. So we'll go ahead and just change
Well, I
that.
think they should
Okay.
sit through it.
Well, we can, if you don't want to, okay.
I appreciate that though. Thank you.
All right. So we'll come back to the monthly reports, but let's jump down to item number 10.
Certainly.
Discussion, possible action, authorize the chair to sign application for the DOC Court Resource Home Subgrant. Morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
commissioners. Thank you for having us. Yes, we've had the Court Resource Home Grant for 3 years already. It's running actively with the Rich and Barrett Ohm family. It was originally a 3-year grant, but the Department of Corrections has encouraged us and 2 other counties to apply for a 4th year. So we'd like to try and take advantage of that. I think you guys have been supportive. The county's been supportive of this. We're asking for the $21,860 to continue operations of that grant. I'd be happy to answer any questions specifically to that grant if you'd like.
Motion to approve by Gable.
Second.
Second by Schwer. Any discussion?
So there's no match, there's no match, it's just a grant, the grant amount.
The grant amount is,
That's cost.
that's the cost of the project, correct? Yes.
And that's all funded through the grant?
It is all funded through the grant.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's even easier.
Yeah.
We like-
But the reason we need your approval is because of the court or the program, the diversion and JDAI all being a court approved
Yeah.
program.
So what we're talking about. Watching, that, so.
Commissioner Gable, will you turn your mic on? Thank you.
So we're not a big enough community to where we could have like a center set up, where you have a youth that's having some issues. You don't want to put them in jail for various reasons, but you can't send them home either. So this is, we don't have a place that's permanent like that. So this is funding basically kind of for lack of a better term, a quick foster care just for a few days for somebody, it might be, and they, sometimes it's youth can be it's a special person, special home for them to go to be able to do this. So that's what this funds. And so we appreciate the folks that are willing to take on this this task, but they do need some funds to handle that program. So.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
One question. This is just to extend it the extra year then, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11 is discussion possible action to authorize the chair to sign application for the DOC RED funding grant.
Yep, RED stands for Racial and Ethnic Disparities. This is another Department of Corrections grant. This is a grant that we applied for a year ago and the county approved. We were awarded this grant and we're now applying for year 2. Applying for $19,768. Again, no matching funds. This would be directly given through Department of Corrections through the Boys and Girls Club. And this allows us specifically to come up with creative solutions for our racial and ethnic disparity groups, specifically our Native American population. So we've had a really successful year, actually. We've partnered with the Sisseton Wahpeton tribe. We've got a couple of cultural advisors that are coming in regularly to do some activities with the kids, like Native American Club, beading activities. We have a talking circle. We have a trail ride scheduled for next week. And the idea is we're getting the kids they're in diversion and they're overrepresented in the program. We're trying to come up with creative solutions to help them get in touch with their culture and get on the path of something positive. And so far, we've seen some really great things. So
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by McElhaney,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any discussion? Liz, did you want to add anything this morning?
No, I just like to thank the county for your continued support of our diversion program and working with youth and the judicial services that we provide. So important. And I'm just very proud of what where we've been and where we are at now in this last 6 or 7 years of really being a leader in the state for what we're doing. And we couldn't do that without the county's partnership. And I think we're really seeing results, and it's just been such a good working relationship with getting these extra grants. So we appreciate it.
We're happy to partner with you.
Back at you.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you do too.
Yeah, it's very important.
Keeps them out of this building.
we're trying.
Mhm. Thanks, you're doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
Really
Appreciate your partnership.
evolved. I mean, the need in working with teens and providing these services has really grown, and we've really adapted and changed our, scope of services, from really, serving the younger preschool and infants into this audience, and it's very much needed, and I think we're seeing great product of voting.
We have motion second and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Can
Appreciate
I
it.
get with you later to get the signatures
Sure.
then for the grant?
Yeah. It's fun.
That'd be great.
Like originals from you, or is it the ones that downloaded?
The ones you downloaded will be fine. I can collect with you later.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Get them to Brenda.
Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, let's move back to item number 9 and go to the auditor's report. Brenda.
All right, good morning, everyone. The county has received the end of April, its first opioid payment in the amount of $1,360.18, which brings that total amount in the opioid settlement fund to $70,455.26. Once again, as we have done in the past, I will be helping the city and the school create their ballots. Also, that their media will be loaded on our tabulator. Will be open that day, election day, from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. And they will use our scanner to count their ballots. So with that, pardon?
What day is that again?
June 17th will be election day, yes. So that's what I am doing right now, is working with them to get their ballots prepared. Other than that, it's just business as usual. I might also note, every year they have the Amazing Race field trip for different schools, and the courthouse is one of the stops that these students come through. And I don't know if they have like a scavenger hunt. Yesterday, 66 students from Millette came through. Today, 100 students from Lincoln Elementary will come through. And then tomorrow, 20 students from St. Martin's will be visiting. So,
Scavenger hunt. That explains what I saw when I was entering the courthouse. Not to throw any hints out there, but if they're watching the commission meeting, there's a purple rock out front. Okay.
this is done
Okay.
through the Codington County Heritage Museum with Christy
Okay.
McDye. So that
Great.
is how this is.
Right.
Yes.
That explains the rock.
So a quick question on that. So for the city election, just so people know, the polling place is City Hall, not.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
For absentee voting, it would be City Hall, yes. We're only open on that day for if there's any questions with total vote and verifying anything. So no voting is done at the courthouse for any of it. We only are here that evening to run their ballots through the tabulator. And then we do their tests and all that sort of thing, but yes. That's it.
All right, let's move on to Director of Equalization, Sean is not here, is she?
No, she's not. I'm sorry.
She's
She's
not
not
here
able to
today.
attend today.
Okay, let's move down to Community Service Director. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Here is my data.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've got one. I have one too, here too. All right, so good morning. We'll start off with the numbers. In April, we served 52 different people with 99 different services, for a total of 91 contacts in the month of April. Again, funeral assistance, we're at about 13,000. We did have a few funerals here in the last month. But that's still, we're fine in our budget for that. Most of the time was spent on South Dakota Cares and case management. And then on the back side of that is just where we've spent our time. Case management, which is really what the community health workers do. So that's a majority of the services that have been completed. Care coordination then would be just kind of the one-time service connection piece of it. And then it just talks about our referrals and total contacts year to date here on the bottom. So any questions about any of the numbers there?
No?
Okay. So for our office, we're reimbursed $2,550 in administrative fees for the South Dakota Cares. I did want to let you all know that we will stop taking applications for South Dakota Cares on July 11th. They'll still be processing through November, but that could have an impact on our community because there is a fairly significant number of people that get rental assistance through the South Dakota Cares program. And so again, the program itself doesn't end until November, but we'll stop taking applications at the end of as of July 11th so that they can process the ones that are out there. And then we'll see kind of the impact that has on our community. For the CHW program, our Medicaid reimbursement in April was $2,158. And they continue to work to bill Medicaid for everything, all that is possible to do. Our office itself, we did make an offer and was accepted to a new employee. We had over 55 people apply for that position. It was very competitive. There was 3, I could have taken any of them and they would have been great. We ended up going with the one that was marketing. It was a very, very difficult decision. So lots of opportunities there for that position. We, in April, had a little bit more travel in April. I went to a housing conference by Dakota Resources in Mitchell. They had some great resources on rehab housing, and some things that I think we can really use in Watertown. So we're going to be bringing some people to Watertown to talk to us about setting that up. I am also doing a train the trainer for that Transition to Success program, which we had 20 people in our community attend that in March. And so I'm doing a train the trainer so we can continue to keep people trained in that and continue to sustain that program. I'll finish that in June. Our CHWs are starting to use that Transition to Success model with clients and really look at, it's a client-driven model. So we're excited to start implementing that. I also attended the CHW South Dakota Strategic Planning Session, and Paige and Carrie attended the CHW South Dakota Conference in April. So that was good and great information for both of those. I also presented at the school district for their in-service training in April. For the systems of care and Codington Connects, we had our interagency meeting last week at the Human Service Agency where they shared what they do there, all of the different programs they have. May is Mental Health Month, and so our agency this month is Better Together Counseling and Jesse Wetzel, who is the owner of that, is our individual of the month for May. We are really excited to be having an event at the end of this month. On May 29th at Foundation Plaza, it's called Splash into Summer. I'm super excited to be coordinating this event and helping plan it. It has a few different goals. One, to recognize all of the services that we have in our community, and then also to promote all of the Codington Connects members. And then also just to
bring our children and families together to create that sense of community. This has been really fun because it's been a real group effort for planning it. We have about 20 people on the planning committee that have been helping coordinate it and organize it. So it's really lightened the load and made it very achievable. Lots of great partners in it. Boys and Girls Club Liz has done a great job coordinating that. Supper will be provided by Reliabank and while supplies last, and then it'll be just a lot of great, it's a great opportunity for our community. More information will be coming, and we have it out on Facebook as well.
Where will it be held at?
The Foundation Plaza.
Okay.
If it rains, we'll move it to the Extension Center, but we're gonna cross our fingers that it won't rain. And actually, have a long planned vacation for this, so I actually won't be here for this event, which when we were planning it and I said like, that's a perfect date for it because it's the Thursday before Thursday Night Live starts after school gets out. I was like, it's a perfect date, but I won't be here. And everybody was like, no problem. And so for me,
Just go ahead and plan it.
Well, yeah. But for me, I was like, it was such a win because it means that everybody else is taking ownership of this.
Yeah.
And this is a Codington Connects
Yeah.
initiative. So we're doing the planning and we're putting a lot of work in up front, but for the day of, I won't be there. And I have no doubt that the rest of the Codington Connects
Good.
members will take it and make it a success. So that'll be great. Yeah. So that was fun. So housing, we had a meeting last week and we're really working now on putting together a plan with some measurable goals that we can move things forward. And so lots of different partners on that one, working on moving it forward. I'm working with the city and lots of different entities on that one. So, and as always, check out Codington Connects at www.codingtonconnects.com for more information about what's happening in the community. So any questions, anything?
Questions? All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
very
Thank-
much.
Yep.
Okay, that moves us down to number 13, I believe. That is action to approve the auditor's account with the treasurer and note monthly register of deeds fees. Brenda.
You have that information in your packet. Auditor's account with the treasurer. Should have said last business day of April 2025. It has the cash on hand, the checks in the treasurer's possession. The total amount there, you go down to the bottom, it has amounts that will be, or that were allocated out, the custodial funds to the schools, the townships, the cities and towns. Those amounts are much larger this month due to April being the deadline for the first half of taxes to be paid. So the total amount was 45,441,105.38. And then the amount of the register of deeds fees collected during the month of April was 34,059.55.
Move to approve.
Matt. So McElhaney motion, second by Gable. All in favor, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 14 is action to approve the quote for servers is budgeted in 2025.
Right. I had mentioned this last week. We'll make it official. So these are the servers that are needed to replace the ones that we've had for several years and their lifespan is getting to the end. That amount is $40,064.96. The amount that I had in my budget last year was for 40,000. So I am over by $64.96 at this point, hopefully. It won't increase anymore and it is with connecting point / 2 trees.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Any discussion? Do you think that
No.
that overrun will be eliminated by the end of the year? You're gonna be able to make that up somewhere? or
My
ask for
budget, I
something?
should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking it should be
And
fine.
they should be good for several years.
They usually last, I believe, 7
Yeah.
years is the lifespan.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15 is action authorized chair to sign an engagement letter.
I'm sorry. I gotta get Toby on. I told him I'd let him know and I guess time moved along.
Okay,
Yeah, good.
everything else is,
Yeah.
Brenda, I think, so we'll just wait here.
We have no abatements. We could do the claims while we're waiting.
Okay, number 17, action for claims for payment.
Okay, so you have that in your packet. I didn't really have anything that jumped out necessarily unless you all had something that you noticed. I did put the amounts. So on page 12, though, there is one thing I might mention for the RAFE funding. It should have been Graceland Township in that amount of 62,857.26 instead of Clausen. And that was the rate funding that was approved in January. And also the amount that is paid to the predatory animal, that amount is larger due to the increase, remember, of the amount of sheep that are in the county now. Last year, our amount was 2,529. So that took a significant increase, and that's based on the number of livestock that is in the county. So total amount of claims is 1,120,492.97, but the state pass-through amount is 591,684.55. So the actual county claims are 528,808.42.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
McElhaney, second by Schwer. Any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
We will also be receiving our 911 allocation from the state that will be, it's passed through to the city of Watertown, and that amount is 38,939.94.
And for the record, I will recuse myself from this vote.
Motion approved.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have no budget supplement.
No budget supplements. Number
Wait for
18.
Personnel change.
Mr. Toby's on now.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and back on up and take care of that. And that is item number, lost it, number 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Action to authorize the chair to sign engagement letter for Baird to underwrite the jail project bonds. Commissioner Gable, is this you?
I'll let, we have Toby Morris on the online. So he's our municipal advisor. You'll call for the jail project this weekend. Hires from Colliers. So, Toby, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Everybody hear me fine?
You bet.
Go ahead, Toby.
Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. I apologize for not being there. On my way to work yesterday, I noticed my power steering was like driving like a 1970 Mopar vehicle. So I have it in the shop, and otherwise I would have been there in person today. What you have here is a continuation of the underwriting process. When I spoke to you a few months ago, you have the advisor side, you also have on the underwriter side. The reason, and we're an underwriter, but the reason for going to a larger market such as Baird, they would probably be considered a smaller Wall Street firm, but they have large coverage from New York out to California. And as you probably noticed, if you looked at your 401k lately, there's been extreme volatility where the market's been shaken upside down. So it speaks again to the strength of bringing in a larger underwriter. And what they do is they syndicate the bonds, they sell it to the investors. I've worked with them on the Harrisburg School. We're working with them right now on the state of South Dakota for the tech ed piece. They've done some Board of Regents in the past. So they're very familiar with South Dakota and they have good exposure. What this does is this engages them to do the underwriting. You know, my role is to basically put everything together. Been working a lot with Brenda, the legislative audit, to do the official statement. And then when the bonds are sold, we'll advise on the investing of them so that we can hopefully make you more money as well towards the project. I reviewed their contract, which is before you. Their fee is right in line, actually a little bit lower. Typically, you might see something more around $8.50, $9 a bond. You'll see this is at $7.97. So I did everything I could to whittle them down, but still delivering an efficient underwriting for you. And so I would stand by to take questions. Also maybe give you just a quick update on where the process as well. If I just look to your direction, Mr. Chair and Mr. Gable.
Commissioner Gable? You have anything to add on that?
No, not really.
Can you give us an update on the progress?
Yeah, so as far as the jail project itself goes, and we're still in, towards the end of design development. I know I've been saying that, but there's a lot of detail to work through. So, we're still thinking around the end of May is when the first bid packages will go out, and we're still hoping for, to be able to break ground sometime in July, we think. But again, you know, the main thing is we want to take the time and get these, you know, get the design development process correct. So that's where you're working through the actually, you know, how's the building going to work down into, you know, quite a bit of detail. And so then you can go through and, they're already starting to work on some construction documents so they can, then finalize those so you can actually build a building. So, but we're looking at it, probably if memory serves, a two-phase bid process that allows us to break ground and waiting for the whole, everything to get done so we can get some of the groundwork done, first bid package. So that's my understanding of it, speaking as layman, but that's where we are pretty much now. We've had meetings almost every week, not quite every week, just to discuss different aspects of the details of the design. And that's mostly a discussion between the architect and the sheriff and the jail, to nail down all these little details, like, you know, what happens if I go through this door or open this door, you know, that all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of.
And, you know, from what I'm seeing, Lee, we're seeing some great bids starting to come in. What might have been, I'll take Fulton School, you know, just north of Pier here, what might have maybe had 1 or 2 bids a year ago, 7 came in. So I would think your project is really going to draw a lot of attention. So the timing is working out well for you.
We're hearing a lot. We're hearing similar things, Toby, from our guys, the Tegra, from our Dick and Tyler. So yeah,
Yeah, good for us. Yeah. Right. Any other questions?
So I'd make a motion to approve this.
Motion by Gable to approve. Second by McElhaney. Any further discussion?
So just to go back to the fees there, Toby, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
It's just, so the way that $797, that's kind of a fee that the investors handle in the course of buying the bonds, or is that something the county pays? You know, forgive my novice question here.
It comes out of the bond proceeds. When the bids are open, and let's say it's 32 million, we know we have your equity contribution. We'll size up the bonds on that. So a lower bid on construction translates to lower cost of issuance related to the bond.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Question. All right. No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. No abatement applications. Is that right? Okay. Kind of going backwards. I think we're on number 19.
Yep.
All right. Action to approve personnel changes.
Here, you have one of those. It is Gary Johnson. Effective date of hire is May 9th. Park custodian, step AA1, 1741. He is a new hire.
Action. Motion by Johnson.
Second it.
Second by Schwer. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
No.
Action to approve travel request.
Request.
None. Moving down to 21, public notices. A possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at this week. Any graduation parties or anything? Probably are. Nothing on the. All right, nothing that we know of. Okay, let's move down to number 22, old business. Anything for old business? No. Number 22, number 23, old business, new business. Geez, old and new business, nothing. Number 24 is open, public comments. Anything for public comments? Commission comments? All right. We do have a need to enter into executive session per SDCL 1-25-2 for the purpose of security, which would be subsection 4. So we will look for a motion to adjourn and go into executive session.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Schwer, second by McElhaney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are in exec. Any action afterwards? Don't believe so. No.